Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with a new review. I hope you're doing well. Happy Fragrant Friday. My name is Ben. This is That Cologne Guy. I bring new content to you every single Friday indeed. I welcome you to your weekend, and I always hope that you have a fragrant Friday indeed. You've seen the title in the description, so you know that this week I'm reviewing 1 Million Parfum. 1 Million Parfum, and I want to show you the sample because this detailed work could only be the work of Dr. Gu over at Locked Sense. I will make sure that I include his channel in the description. So give him a shout out. He sends every year, basically, he sends just a whole bunch of samples. So most of 2025, I will be reviewing a lot of fantastic fragrances that he has sent me. He's just a genuine salt of the earth kind of guy. He's a great guy. Check out his channel. And let's get down to business, shall we? You know, I want to talk about the house, actually, first and foremost, because this is Paco Rabanne. This is a divisive house, actually, in Fragcom, and I frankly don't know why. Other than, you'll have to excuse me, my voice is just a little hoarse this week. Here's the thing. I know that there are generally two camps in Fragcom. Some people care about what other people are going to think about their fragrance because they're trying to, call attention to themselves and get noticed. And then other people, it's a very intimate affair that is important for them to experience alone. And if somebody else notices, that's great. But it's really a personal endeavor. So Paco Rabanne gets a lot of hate to me because they make fragrances that are crowd pleasers and just garner a lot of compliments. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that, quite frankly. Maybe it's kind of lowbrow. They're produced to just smell good, and maybe they're not the most original in the world, is what I'm trying to say. I've told you before, I love Invictus. I love pretty much everything about it, and I've even graduated past my hatred for the bottle because it is kind of a rugby. I mean, it is called Invictus. I'm okay with the trophy. The marketing, the commercials are horrible. But anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, and I will definitely be keeping a bottle or three in my collection over the next few years. Now, let's turn to 1 Million. It kind of has the like 1 Million and Invictus both, but especially 1 Million are like, the club sense of like the bros, right? The bros are going to wear this when they go clubbing. I still don't fault it. I think 1 Million is a great fragrance. I mean, is it a synthetic mess? I mean, is there a guy, off of Sardinia rowing to get whale vomit and produce ambergris of the highest quality? Probably not. It's probably made in a laboratory. I really don't care. 1 Million is a very robust fragrance. Now, this week, what I'd like you to do, besides let me know your scent of the day, the question also is, what is your favorite 1 Million? So either let me know what your scent of the day is, or let me know what your favorite 1 Million is. My favorite, without a doubt, is 1 Million Privé. Prive, looks like Prive, and 1 Million Privé is outstanding. It was discontinued, but man, I would love to get my hands on a bottle of that. Eventually, I can't find it anywhere within my a normal price range. 1 Million is great. I wore a sample of it and got a lot of compliments, and it lasts a long time, and it's affordable. I mean, what's wrong with that, right? It just smells really fruity. I think some people don't like the quote unquote, it's very, very sweet, and so it's right up my alley. But a lot of guys are not going to like the sweet, fruity element to 1 Million or any of its flankers. If you haven't tried any of these, I would recommend Privé if you could find it. But if not, my second favorite is Elixir. 1 Million Elixir is very good. It's definitely not too sweet. I don't think. I mean, don't buy it as a blind buy, but keep that in mind. Elixir really holds its own. It's a damn good fragrance. So I was excited this week to try 1 Million Parfum. Let me go ahead. So that's the house, and this is a 2020 release. And this is by two parfumers I've reviewed before, which is Quentin Bisch and Christophe Renaud, which is Raynaud. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am familiar with their work. To no surprise, this is again a great effort indeed. I will say for the notes, I've talked to some of you about the ability to tease apart notes, and actually that's a question that's come up face to face, actually in person. That's a question that's come up a lot. After 250 some episodes, so well over 200 individual fragrance reviews, of course I've gotten better at discerning notes. I will say this. This one has befuddled me in many ways. This one is not terribly original either. So it's either because it's an absolute synthetic mess, or it's because they just did such a great job with unique notes. Now, I'm going to give you 3 that I picked out, but I want you to go to Fragrantica and look at the note breakdown, because it has like salt and minnow oil, and it got me, actually. So I want to come clean in saying, I'm going to wave the white flag this week. Other than these 3, I mean, you're definitely going to get ambergris. So there's our whale vomit off the coast of Sardinia. There probably aren't any whales near Sardinia anyway. I just made that up. But ambergris is whale vomit, and a lot of it's a commonly used note. The other one is leather. I might have been able to get some cashmere there. It's listed, but I'm going to go with leather. And then finally, tuberose. Tuberose is kind of the main player for me here. And this is tuberose, if you don't know, is a floral that was how like oud and these notes have explosions. Tuberose was like a 2017 to like 21 explosion. Well, this is a 2020, so there you go. And it's a floral, so a lot of guys are going to shy away from it. Tuberose for me is hit and miss. I have had a few tuberose fragrances that were too feminine for me, and I didn't like them. I wouldn't want them in my collection. I would wear a women's perfume, unisex. Those things don't matter to me, but they were too feminine for me, or just wasn't my thing. Too floral, I guess maybe is a better way to say it. It's just too floral. This one is a. You can either say it as a masculine tuberose, or if you don't like that, you could say something like, this is a tuberose that meshes well with the leather and the cashmere and the pine. I guess that might be the way to look at it, but either way, this is a tuberose dominant fragrance, but it is kind of for people who don't like tuberose. This is great. I like ylang ylang. I like lily of the valley. I like tuberose. I can do white florals. I can do florals. Actually, I don't mind those on my my skin in men's fragrances, but this one works. Some of them don't. This one does. So those are the notes. But again, I want to be clear in saying I'd have to wave the white flag on some of the other fragrances, which is cool, right? It's kind of a testament to this one. It is a flanker. It does have the DNA of 1 million, so it has that kind of wild strawberry smell. I mean, one if you haven't smelled 1 million, one common comment is that it smells like strawberries, and this one has that element. So I do like the fact that it has a wink and a nod to the original DNA, and I like the fact that it also has originality to it. This one is, like I said, it's kind of a curveball. It's kind of the left field flanker of 1 million. So that's kind of cool, actually. It's kind of the bohemian hipster. It's like the hipster with the dude with like the plugs in his ears, and you know what I mean? We got the septum ring and all that. That's kind of like this one, actually. 1 million Parfum. It has a little personality to it, and I was so ready to say it didn't have a ton of personality, and then originality, excuse me, and then all of a sudden you start looking at these notes, and it's like, wow, I've actually never reviewed something that smells like this, and I'll speak a little bit more to that in the rating. Okay, so let's get down to some of the categories. Okay, so when it comes to projection, longevity, and sillage, good news, actually. Good news abounds. This one is a parfum, and it does perform as such easily. It projects very well indeed. From 8 to 10 hours, you're going to get about 3 feet, 1 meter, and then it gets closer to you. But if you spray on your clothes, it will last a very long time and project a long time. So longevity will be no surprise. This is a whopping 12 to 16 hours on on longevity. This is another one that if you're looking for something that this is perfect for the clubs actually, because if you put this on at 5 o'clock in the evening, it's going to be going way past 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. And so that's exactly what you want for a performer in a club or nightlife situation. Outstanding, actually. Sillage is great when you're walking past people that you will get noticed. They will compliment you. Like I said, I mean, it's, does it smell like, Brussels, pancakes in Brussels? No, it doesn't. I mean, it's not the most original thing in the world, but when you're walking past people in a club setting, you just want to be noticed and people to like what you're wearing, and that will happen. So it accomplishes its mission. That's why people don't like 1 million Invictus, I think. That's just my take on it anyway. Okay, so now let's get to age. This one to me is a 16 to 26. I'm not really the age bracket for it, but I love it. 16 to 26, I'm going to say this is definitely for high schoolers, and I really see this as like the college bros, hitting the clubs, and a lot of single people will be wearing something like this. 16 to 26, I feel pretty confident about that. 16 and up, actually, is what I would say, because an older guy could definitely wear this, of course, but I just mean, I think most people, this would be a great gift for, like a college guy, and something that he could wear on the weekends, or even as a daily driver, or somebody's first cologne, 16, 17, be perfect for it, actually. So that's the age group, and then this is for men, but this is definitely a unisex fragrance. It is going to be too sweet and too floral for a lot of guys, and so I'm going to say that this has a 66-34 split, meaning 66, about 2/3 of the people who own it, who wanted it, it's a signature scent. They bought it for themselves, will be men, and then actually 34% would be women. A woman could easily pull this one off. I mean, not even a close call here. This one is quite unisex, and it smells fantastic. So what more do you want? So I'll say 66-34, and this is another one that could be one of those fragrances that a couple could wear. Some couples like to wear the same fragrance, right? This would be one of those, actually, a 1 million Parfum, where they could go away for the weekend, bed and breakfast, a romantic getaway, and both of them wear the same fragrance. This would be perfect, actually, for something like that. The events, I mean, it's highbrow enough. I mean, it's not the most original, but it's extremely versatile, other than if you don't like sweet. So I'm going to say that the event is pretty much any place, anywhere, anytime. Same thing with the workplace. I would just be very, very careful. I mean, again, this is a guy who's going to, right now, actually go wear this to work. But it's definitely a nighttime fragrance associated. I had a hard time with season. I mean, I would say summer, fall. But this is another one that, it just smells great. It's kind of like Invictus. I would just say it's kind of a daily driver. This would be perfect for some guy who doesn't have any fragrances. Who could just wear this all year long. If you wanted to pin me down on season, I would say fall, and fall first, and then perhaps summer next. But honestly, for me, it's all about something that you could wear every single day of the year. Event, this would be great with the t-shirt. This would be great for a more formal look. Again, it projects great, so a formal event would be perfect for it. I'd be careful with it at work, especially if it is a place that has more conservative when it comes to fragrances, picking up scents, because it does project a lot. So, and it lasts a long time. So just be careful at work. All right, so now let's get to the rating. When it comes to the rating, this is a come from behind victory, because I told you before that I don't usually change once I lock in on my number. This is a 4.5, but I don't do half sprays in my system. So I have 5 spray system, and then this is a clear 4.5. But I don't do half sprays. Sometimes I round up, sometimes I don't. I was prepared to give this a 4 out of 5. Because it is one of those, like, it smells nice, it is not the most groundbreaking release of all time. But I have to say it's a 4.5 but here's what I would say to somebody, if it's it's not that original. I had a real tough time picking out some of those notes. I never would have picked up salt. I never would have picked up a lot of the notes that are in this. And I have to tip my cap to them for that. I really do. Really, other than the tuberose, some leather cashmere, and then the ambergris, I was at a loss when it came to, other than, it smells like wild strawberries, right? I mean, other than that, I can't really come up with the actual note breakdown. So I'm going to tip my cap to them and give them the props they deserve for that. I'm going to round up, actually. All week long, I was prepared to give this a solid 4 out of 5. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 for what I just said. And then also what tilts it to me to round up, besides the notes, is the fact that, well, 2 more things, actually. Like I said, this one is kind of the hipster flanker of the 1 million community, the 1 million crowd. And so I want to pay homage to that. And then on top of it, I'm a sucker for, things that project and have incredible longevity and sillage. And so I know a lot of people do not have any problem reapplying throughout the day. I do. It's not that I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think I should have to, especially if I'm dropping over, $100. If it's some Creed that's like $320, and I love the house, actually. I love Creed. I'm not knocking on them. They're great, actually, in terms of their customer service and their reps and department stores. They're outstanding, actually. But I had a couple samples from Creed, and it was like hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm not going to spend crazy money for something that's going to last 2, 3, even 4 hours. I just don't. I'm philosophically opposed, and it's for things like this because it is discontinued, but I like the fact that it lasts a long time, projects, and has excellent sillage. So I'm going to go 5 out of 5. Come from behind victory. I'm going to go 1. Actually, I don't have too much left. I'm just going to probably do whatever I can. 1 on each side of the chest, 1 on each side of the neck. Actually, I'll do 1 on each wrist, 1 on each side of the neck, and 1 on the shirt. How's that? I mean, the beauty of having 32 viewers is once you get to the end, and you have a blooper, no one really notices anyway. Boom. Boom. Do I have enough? Boom. Do the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Enough of that. Boom. All right. There you have it, 1 million Parfum. You know what I would do if you guys are kind of a mid-range frag head? You're not really in the game, but you have more than 1 bottle. I would absolutely get yourself 1 bottle of one of the 1 millions. There's a lot of ones there. The gold brick. I would do that at some point because they are rather playful, and they are unforgettable, even if you don't like them. If you don't like sweet fragrances, of course, you just will not like these. But hey, you have to give Paco Rabanne his props because when it comes to compliment getting, 1 million is way up there, and so is Invictus. So I tip my cap to them. 5 out of 5. I've had so much fun doing this review. Make sure that you either comment on your scent of the day. Really helps out the channel when you comment, or let me know what your favorite 1 million fragrance is.